Welcome back. All right, so yeah, I used the bumper stickers for this one, not the mascots. So, anyways, Vancouver and Minnesota, the first game of the day. Not the most exciting game I'm going to watch today. I'm going to go out on a limb on that one, but both teams played the same style, and both teams looking for that counterpunch and looking for really solid defensive play. The good news for Wild fans is this: their numbers are getting better. So it's DeSmith versus Gustafsson. Early chance for Boldy gets held. There's a net feed to Besser. Near miss there. Duhaime has a chance that nearly goes in. The Wild press 3.5 minutes in. Merrill has a shot that's held. The shots are 4-1 for Minnesota at 5 minutes. Then there's a shoulder save on Bogosian. Middleton misses one wide as the Wild press some more. The Canucks were flat. Kaprizov has a rush chance that's defended. There's a press by the Wild at 7.5 minutes, and Kaprizov's all over the ice. He has a screenshot that's held. Canucks press at the half. Hughes fires one wide. We end up with a power play for Minnesota. The Wild cycle. There's a near miss for Kaprizov. More cycling. DeSmith ends up holding on during all of that. And then Pettersson clears to end it. So that keeps it 0-0. Garland has a rush chance that's saved. Duhaime then had a rush chance that was defended. And then a net feed gets tipped in. It's Freddie Gaudreau. He scores from Foligno and Maroon at 18:05. That's point number 300 in the career of Patrick Maroon, the one-man dynasty and all of that. So, yeah, Minnesota's up 1-0. The Canucks look to respond with 34.8 seconds left. The Canucks draw a power play. Besser's denied. Gustafsson ends up holding on to the rebound. It's 1-0 Minnesota after the first. Second period. Gustafsson poke checks Miller in close. The Canucks cycle. The Wild do clear it out. That finishes off the kill. Hronek gets shaken up. He skates off. He'd stay in the game. Zadorov has a shot that's held. Eriksson Ek has a chance that's held. And then on a rush, it's Teddy Bluger. He buries it from Joshua and Garland at 350. It's a very solid line they've got going there right now for Vancouver. Canucks then look for the lead. Johansson can't bury one in close. There's a shoulder save on the next chance for Johansson. Then there's a near miss for Eriksson Ek. Lots of near misses for Minnesota today. The Canucks would clear. Kaprizov fires one wide on a rush. The shots on net are 4 apiece at 6 minutes. It felt like Minnesota was taking over again, though. Teams exchange turnovers. The Canucks press. They draw themselves a power play. Miller gets denied on a fast break. During that, the rebound's cleared. Kuzmenko can't bury one. Gustafsson holds. They kill that off. The penalty kill, a concern for the Minnesota Wild all year. It has definitely gotten better under John Hines. So, Eriksson Ek draws a power play on a break out of the box. There was some debate about whether or not that should have been a penalty shot. Early clear and then another. Kaprizov's robbed. He fires his next chance wide. The fans call one. The referee doesn't, so it stays 5-on-4 rather than going to a 5-on-3, and the Canucks kill it off. Canucks clear after it's done. The shots are 10-8 for Minnesota with 5 minutes left. With 4:10 left, the Canucks, on a delay game call, go to the power play themselves. They cycle. Hughes has a shot that ends up hitting Besser. He left the net briefly, or left the ice, I should say, and went to the back. It looks like he probably just walked it off. There's more cycling. The Wild clear. They do kill that off. Canucks press in the final minute, and with 35.5 seconds left, the Canucks go back to the power play. That's where Brock came back into the game. So that rolls over into the third period. There's a shorthanded rush by Foligno. That saved the Canucks. Briefly set up, but Foligno clears it out again. And then there's another clear that ends it. The Canucks 0 for 4 on the night to that point, or on the day, I guess. Eriksson Ek has a net drive that's held. Hughes' shot was blocked as the Canucks press. DeSmith denies Eriksson Ek in close. Eriksson Ek was all around it today, really, in all honesty. If not for DeSmith's excellent goaltending, Eriksson Ek could have had multiple goals today. So, shots are 3-1 Minnesota 5 minutes in. The fans call one. The referee doesn't. Both teams are defending well. I did think the Wild had a slight edge in play in that third period at that point. But, yeah, both teams were defending pretty well. The Canucks go back to the power play. Besser fires one wide. Faber clears. The interesting part of that, Brock fires it wide, and Brock clears it. Hughes has a shot kicked aside. There's a shorthanded chance for Dewar. The Wild play some keep away. Bogosian clears. Canucks get some cycling going in, but that's killed off. Their power plays seem to be less effective as the game went along. Höglander has a sharp angle shot. That's held. Pettersson had a wraparound chance that was saved. The Wild press was 7 minutes left. Cole ends up clearing it. Garland had a one-timer. That's held. Faber fires one high. The Canucks clear out from there. Boldy's denied. The rebound's held. The Canucks press with 3 minutes left. There's a near miss by Höglander. Strong forechecking by Mikheyev as this game's getting closer and closer. And you could tell both teams just wanted to make sure they at least got a point out of this. Boldy has a rush that's defended. The Wild press in the final minute. There was a failed clear by Suter, which led to some raised eyebrows, I would think, with Canuck fans. But, yeah, Goligoski nearly scores in the closing seconds. Great save by DeSmith to get this to overtime. The overtime, the Wild control early. Kaprizov sets up a press of sorts. Both teams were just playing that back and forth in the overtime, going for that perfect shot. It was a very quiet, methodical overtime. Miller takes the puck. The Canucks set up. Garland has a net drive. That's held. Pettersson fires one wide. Kuzmenko with a near miss. The Wild clear. Zuccarello has a shot deflect wide. And both teams, when they had it again, just going out to center ice, getting their line changes in, and not really net drives, not really, risky plays, basically making sure you're not in a position where you're going to cough up the puck. But it also means you're probably not in a position where you're going to get the goal. So it was predictable this was going to a shootout. The only goal in the shootout is from Matt Zuccarello. So the Minnesota Wild win this in the shootout. They go to 12-12-4. They're back at 500. So the Wild are definitely in the hunt for a playoff spot. Vancouver 29-2. Their 4-game winning streak is done. This is the start of a 4-game road trip. But you know what? You'll take the point. At this stage of the game, with the Wild playing as well as they have under John Hines, I think Vancouver will just leave at that point and move on to the next game tomorrow in Chicago. Shots on net, 13-9 Minnesota in the first, 13-10 Vancouver in the second, 12-8 Vancouver in the third, and 2-1 Vancouver in the overtime. Final shots, 36-32 for Vancouver. Power plays, Vancouver 0 for 5, Minnesota 0 for 2. Hits 16-11 for Minnesota. DeSmith saves 30 out of 31. Gustafsson continues his resurgence. 35 saves on 36 shots for Gustafsson. And again, it's worked out pretty well since changing coaches for Minnesota. And for Vancouver, that's a solid record they have right now. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.